Wednesday night, just got paid. It's time for Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. Once again, this is the glorified version of a bass fishing talk show. And I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Welcome to the show. We got a live studio audience in here tonight. They are hopping. Where's my live studio audience? There they are. Yes. We have a live studio audience tonight. They are on fire. They absolutely are. Yeah, you know, being a bass fishing talk show is not the easiest thing in the world to do. It's not. That's why I got some help. I got a way to help us out here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna check this out real quick. Surrey, who's coming on Stray Cast tonight?
Okay, I found this on the web for who is coming on Stray Cats tonight.
It's not Stray Cats. Surrey, who did I book for Stray Cast tonight?
Brian Setzer's coming on Stray Cats.
Okay, I found this on the web for who did I book for Stray Cats tonight.
Even Surrey thinks it's Stray Cats. It's not even Stray Cats. It's Stray Cast. Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television starts right now. And tonight we are super stoked because on tonight's show, we have again coming back on the show for the second time, his triumphant return, one of the best damn bass fishermen in the business. Brent Ehrler's coming on tonight. Yes. Surrey is useless. Brent Ehrler is an amazing angler. That we found out.
We know.
Hey, this guy is sitting over to my right with the Alpha Angler cap on. Mm-hmm. This guy is Popcorn, and he is stoked about open water in the Chicagoland area. Oh, Ryan Popcorn Whitaker, he's right there.
What's up?
It's this guy. It's this guy right there.
It's open.
It's open water. Season. Yes. It's Wabbit season.
Get him.
All day. He is, he's JP High. He's dynamite. JP High. He'll win that fight. He is the original OG hip-hop bass fisherman, JP High. He's answering your questions on the social media tonight. He's directing them. He's directing questions from the social media. The guy over there with the JP, awesome job with the power pole hat. Love it.
P.
The P is for power pole and P high. PP high. Yeah. The producer of this show, he needs no introduction. We're going to give him an introduction anyway. He's got a TH Marine hat on. He's that guy over there. Ginge, look at the camera. Say, smile at him. Smile at him. Don't sneer at him. Smile at him. You're a big-time producer, and you are producing the hell out of this show. Give it up for Andrew Ellenberger, the Ginger Ninja. It's our producer. He told me to
got
comb
a better sneer than a smile.
Yeah, he sneered. He told me to comb my hair, too.
That's talent.
That's blasphemy. It's blasphemy.
He did. You said you can't have water on your hair. Why is that?
Because then you'll don't feed me after midnight or put water in my hair.
It's a gremlin thing.
Yeah,
okay.
It just that's how it happens. Hey, I want to take the opportunity here. I always do this at the end of the show, but I want to take the opportunity to thank the fine folks that make this show possible. TH Marine, Power Pole, Alpha Angler, PH Custom Lures, Dem Jigs, Bravarni Baits, Rageous, and a couple new sponsors coming aboard tonight. Amphibia Eye Gear. We're stoked to have Amphibia. Yeah. Yes, Amphibia on the show. Coming aboard as a full-time sponsor. Also, you know that Scent Matters and JB Fish Sauce, jbfishsauce.com. Put some sauce on it.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Little Caesars when I put that. Whenever I put that stuff on my baits, I feel like I'm at a $5 pizza. The fish love it. The fish absolutely love
Extra sauce.
And as you know, the deal with Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television on Wednesday night, if you like and share the live feed, you have an opportunity to win some free stuff. Every bass fisherman loves free stuff. Have you ever heard of a bass fisherman that doesn't love free stuff?
Nope.
Nope. We love baits and we love free stuff. We're bass fishermen. Hey, so here's the deal. Like and share the live Facebook feed tonight, and it is your opportunity to win $50 worth of the finest A-rigs known to man from Shane's Bait Company. Shane LaHue and Troy LaHue out of the Carolinas. Awesome. Nothing could be finer than an A-rig from the Carolinas in the morning on a cold day. We know that is true. So check out ShaneBaits.com. Like and share the live Facebook feed, and it is your opportunity to win $50 worth of Shane's Baits products. Tonight, at the end of the show, JP will draw the name randomly. So, with that, I ask you, put the power poles down. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with Brent Ehrler in uno momento. Step up your game. It has been said that professionals are only as good as the tools they work with, and Alpha Angler has developed the ultimate set of tools for you, the competitive angler. Alpha Angler custom rods, brought to fruition by the passion of master craftsman Jake Boomer and 2017 BASS Angler of the Year Brandon Palaniuk. Alpha Angler rods are custom made in the USA. Designed and engineered to be perfect, Alpha Angler utilizes a very unconventional approach to making the very best bass rods, from drop shotting to flipping. Alpha Angler's focus is on building perfectly balanced tournament-grade bass rods at an affordable price. Join the Alphalution today and purchase direct at alphaangler.com. Step up your game. alphaangler.com. Discover the magic of balsa. For decades, professional fishermen and the angling elite come to rely on the fish-catching performance of hand-carved custom balsa lures. PH Custom Lures by Phil Hunt have assembled the comprehensive line of custom balsa baits. The original Huntin' Pete, Bill Lowen's Dollar Bill, Wesley Strader's Ploppin' Pete, and the new Matt Heron Fudd, in addition to the entire family of PH Custom Lures, are just what you need to get that edge over the competition. Discover the magic of balsa today and visit phcustomlures.com. That's phcustomlures.com.
The swim jig technique is one of the most successful ways to put fish in the boat. Time in and time out, Brovani Baits swim jigs are just the right tool for the job. Beaming with quality, the Brovani swim jigs come in a myriad of colors, feature the best premium hooks and solid trailer keepers to give you, the serious bass angler, the confidence you need to accomplish your goal of putting more fish in the boat. So go to BrovaniBaits.com and start climbing the ladder to swim jig success.
Taming the beast isn't easy, but the bigger your electronics, the more you have on the line. In conditions like this, you need the KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount. The only electronics mount designed and built to be rock solid. No movement, no matter how heavy your gear. A marine-grade mount for fresh or salt water that's monstrously strong. The KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount.
Rageous Outdoors is quickly becoming the industry leader in tournament fishing apparel. There's no better way to represent your sponsors than with a Rageous jersey. At Rageous, you can get a short sleeve, long sleeve, sweatpants, the best prices in the industry. Rageous also offers club and team discounts, special high school and college pricing. Our website is easy to navigate, and Rageous' staff will make the process quick and easy for you. Rageous Outdoors, offering high-quality tournament apparel for the weekend angler. Outfit yourself from head to toe. Check out Rageous online at www.rageous.com.
Nothing stops your boat faster and holds it more securely than Power Pole shallow water anchors. Some folks hear Power Pole and think, oh man, I can't afford that. But did you know you can get the 8-foot Power Pole Sportsman 2 hydraulic anchor now with Sea Monster 2.0 pump and heavy-duty hydraulic hose for just $1,295? It's got all the features Power Pole anchors are famous for, and a single Sportsman 2 will hold a bass boat up to 4,500 pounds. Go check it out at power-pole.com to find a dealer near you. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. Welcome back to Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. This is Ryan Popcorn Whitaker. And right now, bass fisherman extraordinaire, for the second time on this glorified outdoor extravaganza, I want you to give a warm studio audience round of applause for the one and only Brent Ehrler. He's back. He's back. What's up, dude?
I like the track going on in the background. I was waiting for no one to clap. It sounds like you got a whole bunch of people there. Where'd that come
Yes.
Yes, they're huge Brent fans. You should see the signs they're holding up.
They brought their number one fingers.
It's amazing. I'm going to need you to put your shirt back on, young lady. It's none of that. There's none of that over. Wild crowd here tonight for Brent Ehrler, man. And dude, seriously, we are super stoked to have you back on the show, man. You are
Thank you.
are sincerely one of our favorite bass fishermen.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. And you know, let's get to the nitty-gritty. I mean, last time you were on the show, we kind of did a little Brent Ehrler history, and I'm going to give a recap for those that don't know. There's little Brent Ehrler, 4 years old, catching his first bass at Old Ford Park. You remember him? You remember him, don't you? You remember that guy? You did a little stint in college at La Sierra.
I did. Yep.
Kicked ass there. And then you decided you wanted to be a pro bass fisherman. I mean, you came out 2004 Everstar champ, 2006 Forrest Wood Cup winner, 13 years on the tour, and I'm going all around here, all over the place. Toyota Texas Bass Classic winner 2015. Okay, $2.64 million in bass earnings. Dude, did little 4-year-old Brent Ehrler think that this kind of stuff would happen? Is that crazy?
No, never. I never, had planned on being a professional fisherman. I thought I was going to be a professional skier, to be honest with you, and never really actually thought that fishing was going to be something that I would do. I mean, I loved fishing, and I was obsessed with it, but it wasn't something I ever planned on doing for a job.
And it's amazing, and what a job this has become to you. And I mean, and you basically you did your stint on the FLW tour for multiple years, and I think what was 2015 your rookie year on the elites? Is that correct?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. 15 was my first year of fishing the Bass Elites, and I've done 3 full seasons now. We just started my 4th season with Bass.
Outstanding, man. And I got a little stat for you that you might find remarkable that you might not even know about yourself here. All right.
Okay.
So basically, in your BASS career, all right, you have caught 1,789 pounds of bass.
Okay.
It's a lot of LBs, right? You have won on the elite series in the BASS. You have won $398,389. Okay, and that's out of the 2.64 that you've got over your career. But here is the interesting tidbit, and this is something that 4-year-old Brent Ehrler would have never imagined. That every bass that you caught so far in your BASS career has earned you $222.68 a pound. Yes, that's an impressive. That is a stat. Yes. Wow.
I can't wait to
You better buy something nice with that, Brent.
I wish every bass, it could just be like every single fish was a check into my pocket. It'd be great.
That's sashimi grade there.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's you cash it in, boom, right there at the end of the derby. They're waiting for you right there.
Yeah, really.
$222 a pound, man. Not too bad.
Yeah, really.
So we know the Brent Ehrler history. So now let's kind of get to know Brent Ehrler. All right. Let's get to know you. Let's let this whole web world get to know you. And I want to remind you, all you watching and listening out there, you will have the opportunity to call in and ask Brent some questions. The number is 520-214-BASS. That's 520-214-2277. If you want to load up the phone lines, producer Andy, the Ginger Ninja, is going to put that number up on the board there, and you can start loading up the phone lines, and we'll take some calls later on in the show. But Brent, I want to get to know you, man. I want to get to know you mano y mano, one-on-one. All right?
Okay.
So what do you feel that the name Brent Ehrler has become synonymous with in your years as a professional bass angler? What would you feel that your name has become synonymous with?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I'd like to think in the fishing world that consistency, humble, easy to approach. That's kind of the stuff that I'd like my name to kind of, represent. And in the fishing world, we're out there trying to win tournaments, but you know what? You have to be consistent to make the championships. You have to, fish the Bassmaster Classic. So being consistent is a big deal. Being humble is a very big deal. I don't really like the cockiness of a lot of guys out there. In fact, it drives me crazy. It's hard to be
Absolutely
cocky in something where you're trying to predict a bass, and I don't like the guys that kind of showboat a little bit, or are just real cocky about things, and being approachable. The nice thing about fishing is that to the fishing fans out there, the people that are involved, is we're exactly the same as them. We're not on any kind of pedestal. I want to be the person that's easily approachable. Talk to me. I don't care. I'm not better than you, and that's the part that I hope that I give off that sense, because, we're not rock stars. We're bass fishermen that just get to go out and do what we love to do. And, we should be able to show our appreciation to the fans of the sport.
And absolutely you do, man. And you are certainly approachable and not cocky whatsoever, but you are confident. I do gather that from you, and that is admirable.
There's a big difference.
Yeah,
between
I mean,
cocky and confident. Yeah.
he knows his abilities. You really do, and that's very admirable quality, Brent.
Thank you. I try, and I wish I could work on being more confident out there. I feel like, man, I have confidence sometimes. Sometimes you don't. You don't really know what, it's hard to predict what's going to happen out there. So it's hard to have that kind of confidence. But believe me, if I could be more confident, I think I could actually catch them better out on the water.
Gotcha. What type of pressure do you feel personally in being a professional bass angler? What type of pressure do you feel in a personal level?
Tons and tons of pressure. And same thing, if I could not have that pressure, I promise you I could do better in tournaments. And to me, it's going out and being consistent, representing my sponsors, and trying to make the Bassmaster Classic. That's the bottom line. If you continue to do that, you continue to have sponsors, and you continue to do this for a living. If you don't do that, then you don't have the sponsors, and you can't do this for a living.
Right.
So there's a lot of stress on the line. And the hard part too for me is that I'm stressed during practice, because one tiny little decision makes a huge difference on the water in practice and in the tournament. Sometimes, they talk about golf of just being the game of near misses, and meaning that there's so many putts that roll across the corner of that cup that could drop one way and it goes in, and you save that stroke. If it lips out and you miss it, you miss out on that opportunity to win money.
Right.
Fishing's the same way. You make that right decision and things are easy on the water. Sometimes you are so close to making the right decision, but you just don't, and you miss out on cashing a check. And so essentially you're there. Not only are you there, you spent money to be there and didn't make any money. So you make those small decisions and you catch fish and you cash a check, you gain points, and you make money.
And that's $222 a pound when it all works out right.
Correct. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I mean, with the pressure that you feel, how do you deal with it? Obviously catching fish, but what's your happy place? And obviously that's catching fish also. But how do you, when those wheels start turning in Brent Ehrler's head, when all those gears are grinding, man, like what is your happy place? What centers you?
It's different every time. I don't have one set way to put myself back in the right, frame of mind. It could just even be a bite. It could be a certain thing on the water that things click, that gets you right back in the right mind frame. If that thing doesn't happen, then you're just kind of out there wandering around, and it's tough to stay positive. It really is. And you never really know what's going to happen out there. But I don't have that one thing that says, hey,
gotcha.
think of of rainbows or sunbeams.
And unicorns and nice things like that.
I don't have a happy place when I'm out there in a downward spiral. Believe me.
It's a dark place, Brent Ehrler. It's a dark place.
I think we're all pretty alike in that though. The bite, a bite is probably
Makes
the
a-
number one.
makes a
thing,
big difference.
That'll get you back.
Do you does it ever grind your gears when people call you Ehrler instead of Ehrler?
No.
It's got to happen at every sports show. Come on.
Yeah, more people call me earlier than Ehrler, so it's almost normal to hear it now.
Did you grow up like that? Did that happen in school too?
Not really. It's when you get. I mean, I went to the same school for 12 years. Elementary and high school, and your name's out there and people know you. They know your name. And it was later on that when I got into fishing more, when you're meeting more people you don't know, and when they read your name, it looks like Ehrler. I'm not gonna say what's wrong with you. Why do you pronounce it that way? It looks like Ehrler. I mean, it does. So believe me, I ain't mad at you.
And people are dyslexic too because our minds move so fast.
Right.
At least mine. When I was a kid, I used to say, "Mom, that Ronald Martin show's coming on. Let's watch that." And she'd be like, "Pat, it's Roland. Slow down and read, Pat. It's Roland."
So, I got a story for you guys. I just went and did an open house show at Bedford Sales.
Yeah.
Outside of Chicago.
Sure.
And I don't remember the town, but the Ranger dealer. I went there for Ranger boats, and I did a couple seminars and hung out with all the people that were there. And it was pretty funny because a guy kept talking to me about this guy on tour named Ishi Moore. I knew he was talking about. I mean, I'm not joking. He said Ishi Moore probably 4 or 5 times. And that's one of the best ones I've heard. And I even text Ish afterwards and told him his new name was Ishi Moore.
Ishi Moore.
Ishi Moore.
Yes. Yes.
That's really
And you were in town?
Ishi Moore.
Ishi Moore. There it is. It sounds like an Ed Bassmaster character.
Hey, Ishi,
actually.
tell me about
Yeah,
dropping
really.
bombs on him.
And you were in Chicago, and you went to the Blackhawks game, and you kept running away from our producer, the Ginger Ninja. He was in hot pursuit of Brent Ehrler all night. I mean Ehrler all night.
I saw him a couple times. I tried to keep getting his attention, but man, he gave me the cold shoulder. He big leagued me big time.
He's a big shot producer. You know how that goes in bass fishing talk shows.
Hey, I gotta say, okay, so this was the first hockey game that I've ever been to, and I've always wanted to go. And the Ranger rep out there and a couple of the pro staff guys, were able to get tickets and took me along. And I had an absolute blast. But I just gotta say one thing: they lost 8 games in a row, and I show up to a game, and they won. Not only did they win, they scored 7 goals, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was me that helped them win, but it was me that helped them win.
Yeah, absolutely. You are the Chicago Blackhawks happy place. That's you.
I don't know what their schedule, what they've done since then, but if they've lost, it,
Not
Yeah, not too much. No. You went to the right game for sure to experience the first one. Absolutely.
Do you ever miss the FLW tour?
I do. I miss the people over there. A lot of really good people that are involved in the staff with FLW. A lot of great people.
Great people, absolutely.
A lot of great anglers as well. That part I miss for sure. I love being over at Bass, but I miss the people over there for sure.
Gotcha. And they are a great bunch of people. That is for sure.
They are.
Who do you think has the highest IQ in bass fishing?
One of the weird guys. It's got to be an Aaron or a Kennedy.
Yeah.
I heard something about, and he doesn't, and I wouldn't put him in that weird category, but Hank Cherry I heard is brilliant. Now,
He's a genius.
From what I've heard, but he doesn't have that weird kind of Rain Man sense to him. He's pretty level grounded or level headed, but from what I've heard, he's supposed to be really smart. The other guys, you can tell they're smart, but they act goofy.
Yeah, and Steve Kennedy, he analyzed the hell out of us when he was on this show.
He's a numbers guy.
Oh yeah, he let us have it.
Big time.
And Aaron Martin, we just play rock paper scissors with him, and he got philosophical on us.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
We did 10 minutes on his spirit animal.
Yeah, we did.
What is a spirit animal?
What's
I
that?
forgot what he's.
It's the hyena.
The hyena.
His spirit animal is the hyena.
How do you
Yes.
find a spirit animal?
He channeled it in the desert one night in California, of course.
Do you know who my spirit animal is?
No, I'd love to know.
It's Mark Zona.
Mark Zona. Mark Zona's spirit animal is a jackal. It's
A jackal.
Yeah, that's when he
Really?
becomes Dark Zona.
He told me it was some sort of marsupial.
Yeah, he doesn't even know his own
Thought it was
spirit.
a llama.
He doesn't even know his own spirit. No, a llama is fighter.
That's fighter.
That's fighter
He told me
spirit.
it was more like a wombat.
Mark Zona is your spirit. Mark Zona is your happy place, Brent Ehrler.
There you go. That's good. Hey, I like that. I'll take that.
If you had a do-over in your professional fishing career, or let's say even life, what would your do-over be?
In bass fishing, I have so many. Hindsight is such a big deal in bass fishing. We always know more at the end of any tournament that had we had just done that, changed up something, we'd be in a different place right now. And I promise you that I have, what'd you say, 2.6 million are my winnings?
2.64.
2.64. I promise you I have lost more money in bass fishing than I have won.
Wow.
And I promise you that most of the guys out there are the same way. And that's just the way it is. The lost fish. I won the Forrest Wood Cup one time, and I had the bites to have won 3, if not 4 of them.
Oof.
And no one has won 2, and I had the bites to win 3 or 4 of them.
Wow.
The Classic this last year, I had the bites. I had a terrible last day, but I still had the bites over the 3-day period to win the tournament.
Hey, you came in third, right?
I came in third. I led it for 2 days, and I didn't finish strong, but it doesn't matter. Day 1, day 2, day 3, I had the bites to win that tournament. I was only a pound and a half out of the lead, and I promise you, I had the bites. And it's just the way it goes. So, had I, could I go back and change the way things happen? Yeah, I would definitely do it in bass fishing. But there's a lot of them.
Yeah. You wish you had the crystal ball, too. That would help things out a great deal. Hey, if you want to call up and ask Brent Ehrler some questions, Brent Ehrler, if you want to call up and talk to him and ask him some questions, the number is 520-214-2277, 2277 or Bass. We paid big money for that Bass number.
I want to know what you would have changed in the Classic last year.
On day 3, I kind of ran away from the fish a little bit. I hunkered down too much in one area, and then I started hopping around outside of there. The fish were biting better in the afternoon. They bite first thing in the morning, then they're biting better in the afternoon. I should have just stayed in the area and fished around, and I would have caught, all I needed was 1 or 2 3-pounders, and I would have won. I finally came back to my one best little stretch late in the day, and I jumped off 1 over 3 that even that fish alone might have helped.
Right.
So, even just on day 3, I could have done things quite a bit differently, and it just didn't happen.
Gotcha.
There's this year, Brent.
Yeah.
There's this year.
It's coming right up.
I love Lake Hartwell, so I'm excited to be there. I wish I was there. When did they go there? 15, when it was really cold?
Yeah.
I really wish I'd fished that one. I'd qualified to fish the elites in 15, but I did it through the opens. Well, I didn't win an open, so I was not able to fish the 2015 Classic. I really feel like that was one I could have done well in.
That was the Casey Ashley one, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So I really like Hartwell. I really wish I could have fished that tournament. I didn't. We're back there again. The conditions are going to be different this year. The fishing's going to be really good. And that part I don't like. I want it to be a little bit tougher.
But you like a tough derby.
For Hartwell, I would like it tough. I think that right now, anybody could drop the trolling motor and do anything they want and catch fish.
Wow. Setting up that way.
It'd be fun to watch.
It'll be a great tournament. Believe me, it'll be fun. I just wish it was a grind, tournament, and I think that I would fare better. But believe me, it'll be fun. We're going to catch a lot of fish. We're going to catch a lot of big fish as well.
Slugfest, quote unquote. We hear that a lot.
I think it is. I think it's going to be really good fishing. I really think we're going to see some big weights, a lot of 20-pound stringers caught in this one. It's probably going to take 60-ish pounds to win, 3-day tournament.
Wow.
I'm guessing it'll be close to 20 pounds a day will win it.
Nice. We can't wait. We can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one. I mean, the Classic is the Classic. It's such a great event. And, the whole season, obviously it's the Classic. That's what you want to go to. But it's at Lake Hartwell, too. So, to me, that was the one when they announced the schedule that I went crazy. I couldn't wait to get
Nice. Let's get to know Brent Ehrler. We still got a couple questions. Then we're going to get to the technical stuff, and then we'll get to some phone calls. But so you spent a lot of time on the road. I mean, obviously coming from California and then traveling all around to fish the Elite Series, the tour events, there's a lot of time in the truck, man. And, I imagine that a lot of that is consumed by phone calls. A lot of it is consumed by transcontinental meditation. And a lot of it is probably consumed by listening to music. So my question to you is if you had the choice, it's just you and that highway, Brent Ehrler, and you had the choice to belt out one of these songs, one of these 3 songs, which one would it be? Would it be Black Dog by Led Zeppelin? Would it be Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg? Or would it be Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus? Which one?
No question, Gin and Juice.
Gin and Juice.
Yeah. I love rap. That's mainly what I listen to. Anymore now, I mean, with these things, we don't have to have, I used to have Sirius XM on the truck. With this thing, Pandora, Spotify.
It's for you.
Yeah.
You can get that. That
Phone
would be
calls.
cool. Go ahead. Just answer it. We don't
Can I
care.
answer it?
Yeah, why not? See who it is. Is it Ishimuro?
Is she?
I'm doing a Skype show right now. Do you want to join in? Hold on 1 second. It's with Stray Casts. Okay, say hi.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
This is Jim Rosenfeld. He was my good buddy for a number of years with GoPro, and
Not a good buddy anymore. Just for a number of years, I was a good buddy.
You're B team. B team, Jim.
Now I'm just a guy that has to make a phone call 4 times to get a hold of Ehrler. It's big time for me.
He just got done telling us how humble he is.
No.
Now he's hey, hang up on Jim. He's taking into your time, Brent.
Call me back. It's cool.
We're just kidding. We like this kind of stuff. That's the magic of a Bass Talk Show.
It is.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You know what I'm saying? That's Brent's GoPro buddy,
Hey,
Jim.
Look at this picture. Let me see if I can blow up the picture that I have of Jim. It won't let me do it. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's Jim right there.
Gosh, he looks like Tom Selleck.
Yeah, do I see a mustache?
The beautiful mustache. It's kind of a beard, but it cut him off right around the chin. But there's Jim right there.
It's a cross between Paul Elias and Tom Selleck Magnum PI.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm taking that as a compliment.
It's an absolute compliment. 100%. If you had a Hawaiian shirt on, that would be outstanding, Jim.
I don't do Hawaiian shirts.
That's okay. Maybe we'll get you one for Christmas. Next time Brent comes on the show, he'll get you one. He won $222 a pound with Bass Vision. He could buy you a damn Hawaiian shirt, Jim.
Seriously.
That's awesome. That's Jim. You can stick around, Jim. If you want to answer these questions too, we're fine with that. We have no problem with that. We're cool.
No. I'm good. I think this is about the extent of what I can take of a live show. I'm no good in front of the camera.
Wait, hold on. Before you go, Jim, how about a live studio audience round of applause for Jim from GoPro? How about it? Right there. That's Jim, Brent's buddy. Yes, they love you too, Jim.
All right, guys.
All right, I'll call you after.
All right, man. Be good.
All right, see you.
It's a special guest appearance. See, that's what talk shows are like. It'd be like, sometimes like Mick Jagger would pop into Saturday Night Live unannounced. That was what Jim is the Mick Jagger of this show right now.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. It's not supposed to. But anyway, back to the deal. Back to songs. So did the song when when Skeet Reese started playing Black and Yellow at weigh-ins, did that ruin that song from Wiz Khalifa for you when Skeet started that? Do you think?
No, the funny thing is that I will call Skeet and that's, he has the ringtone.
That's
So
his ringtone.
that's his ringtone as
Hit
well.
him again.
So, he plays that one a lot.
It's his
But,
voicemail too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
That's his voice. It goes right there. That's
You think it's his ringtone also? Is
It's
that
a-
ringing out of his
it's everything.
pocket
Yeah.
and his voicemail?
Yeah, and
Wow.
actually, it's his alarm clock too. He gets up to that too.
And his stage music.
He hits his garage door opener. Boom! It's Black and Yellow.
I can yell it. Yeah.
Black and Yellow. You know what it is. It's Black and Yellow. It's Black and Yellow. Okay, enough of this nonsense. Let's get to
Guy's on fire.
Yes, let's get to some bass fishing technique questions, okay?
Okay.
Because everybody wants to hear that. That's the deal. That was a little selfish of me. I wanted to get to know Brent Ehrler. That's where I was coming from. So
All right.
now we're going to appeal to the masses here. But in some, I can't remember where I read it, but you are listed as saying that one of your favorite techniques, your primary strength in angling, is worming. Worming. And that's something that you don't hear from a lot of guys anymore. Talk to us a little bit about that, Brent.
I think that, that's a tough one. Okay, so with worming, it's versatile. Meaning that I can go throw a drop shot, I can throw a Texas rig. There's a lot of guys out there when they fish shallow and they flip and pitch, they're jig guys. They pick up a big jig. Hackney's one of them. He'll pick up a big half ounce or sorry, a 1 ounce jig, the hack attack jig, and just go to work. I can't stand throwing a jig shallow. A jig to me is casting it deep in open water, or skipping docks. But day in and day out, it just seems like you catch more fish on a worm. Now, having said that, when I go out to a tournament, I do a lot of things out there. I feel like I am very versatile. I don't feel like I am a specialist in any one technique. But the problem with that is that when you go out there and you have no idea what is up or down and how a bass can bite whatever you have on your deck, I don't have that really one go-to, just put it in my hand and go and do it, because I have a lot of techniques that I like to do. Whereas you take a specialist in any one technique, whether it's a David Frisk, he will crank from sun up until sundown every day. If he doesn't know what's going on, he's going to put a crankbait in his hand and just go and do it. If I don't know what's going on, I will go throw a worm on this dock. I'll go throw a worm on that brush pile. I'll crank a, Lucky Craft 1.5 around some rock. Or I'll pull up a new Lucky Craft jerkbait they just came out with and go down the bank with that too. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have that fallback pattern.
Wait, stop. Let me stop you. Wait, you said new jerkbait. I want to know, what is the new Lucky Craft jerkbait?
The new jerkbait
please
is,
tell.
I'm about to sneeze here. Hold on a second. I lost it. Let me get it. 1 second.
Yes. See, this is a Stray Cast exclusive.
Going to get
Again,
one.
the magic of bass fishing talk
Going
shows.
to the bait dungeon.
Brent has gone to retrieve the new limited edition Lucky Craft jerkbait that he is about to unveil here on the Stray Cast Show.
Suspended the
Welcome
show.
back, Brent.
There we go.
There it
That
is.
the Lightning Pointer 110.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, so they have a Lightning Pointer. It's a bait that they came out with not too long ago. Now this is the new size. It's a 110 with 3 trebles on it.
Yes.
But based on the weight transfer and the weight design, it's going to have that good hard side-to-side dart action that you want with a jerkbait. But not only that, it's going to have that hard, wobble while it's doing that. So it's going to have 2 different actions to it. It's going to have this side, this wobble plus the hard darting action. So
Love it.
that's what the Lightning Pointer does. The other thing is, I want to say this thing's like $9 or something. So for Lucky Craft,
Wow.
Yeah.
that's almost unheard of. So
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
good.
Lightning
Competitive.
Pointer, I got some when we went to Lake Martin, and it was a very good bait. I only threw it a little bit. I was mostly fishing very deep, and so I didn't really throw the jerkbait much. But we're going to Lake Hartwell, and this one's definitely going to be in the mix for me.
Yeah.
We found one.
Yeah, look, and was in the Ginger Ninja's stash, And apparently he stole it because the scanner bar is still on
it's
here.
still on there.
So somehow he got out of Bass Pro Shops without even paying for this. Good
Is it the
job,
110
Andy.
or is it what size is it?
That's the smaller one. Yeah, it's not the 110. That's the 98 or whatever, or the 100.
Yeah. There you go.
So is that slow
That's the
sinker?
98,
Is
yes.
that slow sinker or is that
Suspend.
It's a suspend. Perfect.
It depends on. It really depends on what hooks you put on there and water temperature as well. But they're designed to suspend, so it's going to be suspending bait for the most part. If you put big hooks on there, it's going to sink a little bit.
Nice. The new one. I'm excited. I love the Lucky Craft jerk baits.
Looks
There's no
awesome.
doubt about it. My favorite. Hey, we will take some calls. Should we open up the phone lines? You want to do this? If you want to talk and ask some questions to Brent Ehrler, the number's 520-214-2277. 520-214-2277. I sound like a real radio guy when I do that, don't I, Brent?
You sound amazing.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Can I be your spirit animal, please, just for tonight?
You got a lot of work to pass up Zona. So.
Well, just for tonight. I'm not asking for much.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Just for tonight. Just for
why
tonight.
not?
It's a great pickup line.
Yeah.
Can I be your spirit animal for the night?
I think I'm going to try that one
That's good.
later.
I like that. That's amazing. I'm not single, but man, if I was, I would try that.
That's a good one. And the other good pickup line is, hey, have you ever planted jelly beans to see if they would grow? Sometimes I use that one, and it works out really well for me, surprisingly. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good line. It works. I don't know why.
I think you just made that up.
It works. It's not a true story that I just made up. It's
I
a
think
true
it's
story.
a pickup line that you just
Okay,
made
let's
up.
take some calls. Do we have a fish on the line? We do. We have a fish on the line. Welcome. I am Brent Ehrler's spirit animal, and Brent is here to take your calls. Hello. How are you?
All right, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you doing? Who's calling? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Rivers Grove. I'm from out in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I'm a licensed guide out here, and
Awesome.
I'm with Lucky Craft USA, and I wanted to ask Brett what his favorite Lucky Craft lure is, and then what color he prefers.
Wow.
All right, that's it's got to be a 1.5. I've caught more fish on that crankbait than any other. I take it back. It's a toss up between a 1.5 or some of their jerk baits. I've caught a lot of fish on their jerk baits. I mean, it could be a pointer 78, a pointer 100, the slender pointers. But day in and day out, from the start of the season to the end of the season, I've caught more fish on a 1.5. Two colors. One is the pearl threadfin shad. That is my favorite shad color bait.
Wow.
Now, the other one is called BE Gild.
Yes,
Now,
I love it.
it is so good. It is so good. When they are on any kind of bluegill, especially around the spawn, that is a very, very good color and a good bait. There's something about that color. I have caught more bass on BE Gill that have the entire bait down their throat than any other color I've ever thrown. So when you get a bait, when you get a fish to bite a crankbait like that, you know it has the right movement, the right color, and it's exactly what they want to eat.
They're buying it.
You're doing the right thing.
Correct.
There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Excellent
Awesome.
question. So
Awesome. I appreciate it.
what'd you say your name was again? Because I didn't catch it. You kind of broke up.
My first name is Rivers.
Rivers?
R-I-V-E-R-S.
That's an
Yep.
amazing
Last
fisherman
name
name.
Grove.
Rivers
Yeah.
Grove.
That's a great name.
I think if your last name was Ketchum, Rivers Ketchum, that would be even better.
Yeah, but my middle name's Mountain, so it's definitely one name that you'll never forget.
Were your
Rivers
parents
Mountain
hippies?
Grove,
Rivers Mountain Grove.
He must have had hippie parents.
Yeah.
John Denver?
That's awesome.
What's that?
That's a movie star name.
Yeah, that is a movie
It
star
is.
name, and he's with Lucky Craft, so I guess he's doing okay. He's doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, thanks, man. We appreciate you calling, and thanks for watching the show, bud.
Hey,
Thank you.
absolutely. I appreciate it. And Brent, good luck. I hope everything goes great this year for you. And hope everything
Thank-
goes great. That's all I can say.
There it
Thank
is.
you.
Thanks, River.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling.
That is awesome.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
River.
Bye.
I'm gonna rename myself River
Yeah.
after that. Let's
Jealous
get
of
back to
that name.
Worming. I want to know what You like that segue right there? I want to know. I want to know basically the rig. Like, what is your deal? You're talking about. Okay, I'm gonna have the worm rigged up. What's the worm? What's the deal? What are you doing? How you rigging it?
A Texas rig is so versatile. Again, like the 1.5, day in and day out, something that I'm going to have on the deck. One of two baits for me. It's going to be a flapping hog that Yamamoto makes. If I'm going to flip, that's going to be the bait. For just overall fishing, if I'm going to fish deep, if I'm going to fish shallow, if I had one bait, I kind of talked about how I feel like I'm a versatile fisherman, and when I get spun out, I don't really have that fallback technique that I feel like I can catch them on. I'm going to contradict that right now and say that I've done it multiple times. If I don't know what's going on, I don't know what they're going to bite, there is a rig that I will throw that I know I can catch something on. And it is something that it does not matter if you're fishing in 50 feet of water or if you're fishing in a foot of water. A Texas rig Senko with anywhere depending on the depth. If you're fishing in a foot of water, it's an 1/8 ounce. If you're fishing in 20 feet of water, it's a 3/16. If you're fishing in 50 feet, it's I would still go with a quarter, maybe a 3/8.
Wow,
I like that.
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
The fish flat out bite it. It does not matter. They just flat out will bite it. You can fish it, weightless as well. If you're fishing sparse grass and you're casting, then a weightless Texas rig Senko is one of the best baits you can throw. But you put a weight on it and you can do so many different things with it. I almost won an FLW event over on Lake Okeechobee, and a good bulk of the fish I was catching flipping sparse reeds with a 3/8 ounce weight and 50-pound braided line.
I remember.
And I caught them and caught them and caught them. I caught a 9-pounder. I mean, in the tournament, I caught one almost 9. It was an 8/14 on a Senko with a Texas rig and a heavy braid. You can fish it out in deep water with 12-pound test and a 1/4 ounce weight. There's so many things you can do with it, and the fish will bite it day in and day out anywhere in the entire country.
Interesting deal about the weight size choice there. I thought that's pretty cool, dude. Absolutely. Hey, we're taking calls 520-214-2277 with Brent Ehrler right now. We got a couple calls let there on hold. Hey, we going to bring him on? Let's do it. We got a fish on the line. Here we go. Welcome to Stray Casts. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, bud. Who's calling?
My name's Jason. I'm from Illinois.
Illinois. Awesome.
Yep.
What's going on, dude?
So I just want to ask, what are Brent Ehrler's choices for fantasy this year for the Classic?
Why don't you ask him?
Well, I can hear you, buddy.
So what are your choices this year?
You don't have to repeat. I got your question, man. Thanks for calling in. It's hard to bet against Casey. He lives there. He knows the lake. He is going to be one of the toughest guys to beat there. Having said that, I think we're going to have different conditions right now. I think the fishing is going to be very good, which is going to open up the field. So, having said that, I mean, you could get a guy that is going to burn the bank with a crankbait. You could get someone like Hackney or KVD that could win. Man, I have never done this before, but I'm going to put my name in the mix because I love Lake Hartwell. I really do. And I can't wait to get there. And I've been doing my research. Unfortunately, I was not able to get out there and practice before the cutoff, but I mean, I've fished 3 tournaments there. I kind of know what I'm going to do, and I kind of know where I'm going to do it in general areas. But at this point, I just can't wait to get out there and see what happens and hopefully be in the hunt. Whether it happens or not, I don't really know, but I'm excited to find out.
Awesome. Good question, man. Thank you. That was awesome.
No problem.
All right, man.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
There it is right there. And you know what that was, Brent? That was an example of confidence, not cockiness. And I am glad that you put yourself in the mix, sincerely. I really mean that. I'm glad you did. I mean that 100%. We want to take some more calls? Is that what we're doing, guys?
If you're not putting yourself in there, you shouldn't even go.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
All right, we got another fish on the line. Welcome to Stray Casts. Hello. How are you? Who's calling?
Pete from Minnesota.
Pete, how are you?
Hey, Pete.
Doing good, man. How about you guys?
Swell.
All right, just hanging out, talking to Brent Ehrler. He's a pretty cool dude. What's going on?
I was just calling to see what Brent's opinion was. I know he's a glass rod guy, but does he ever find situations around grass where he thinks a graphite rod will outfish a glass rod around heavy grass with treble hook baits?
No, I'm a straight glass guy when it comes to a chatterbait or crankbaits. I just feel like I just think you land way more fish with it. And yes, it's annoying sometimes when you're fishing grass. You can't clear the bait as well with glass as you can with the graphite rod. When I say clear it, meaning that when you snag in the grass, when you're getting those bites is when you're snapping it free from the grass is when the fish bite. Sometimes it's hard to do with a glass rod, but I would rather have that glass to be able to dampen the blow when a fish bites it. I just think you land way more fish.
Awesome.
Cool.
Does that help?
Yeah, it helps a lot. What rod do you throw your 1.5s with?
Right now I am throwing a Tatula XT medium action glass rod. Now, I say now, I'm actually not throwing that now because I have a prototype that I'm fishing that's going to be in the Tatula Elite series. That's going to be a 7.2 medium action glass rod. It's going to be the perfect rod for any smaller crankbait as well as the 1.5. The glass rod that I've designed for Daiwa right now is a 7.4 and an 8-foot. They're both for bigger baits, meaning that the 8-foot's for big deep diving crankbaits. The 7.4 I specifically designed for chatterbaits, but I use it a lot for a 2.5, a 3.5. It's little too stiff for me for throwing a 1.5. Open water, you can get away with it just fine, but the thing about a 1.5 is that I like that softer action rod because I can spot cast it. I can throw it in the tight little corners around docks or around brush, or I can spot cast better with it, and I feel like I can land more fish with a little bit lighter action rod. So I believe sometime here in the next couple of weeks we're going to have the Tatula Elite series, and it's going to be a signature model that I designed in a 7.2 medium action glass. So in the meantime, Tatula XT medium action glass. It's a great rod. They're practically giving it away. It's under $100. It's a great rod. That's the one I like for throwing a 1.5 right now.
Nice. There it is. Once you go glass, you never go back.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
That's what everybody says.
You passed. I'll see you at the classes.
That was awesome. Thanks for calling. Let's keep taking calls. Why not? This is fun. I like it. Let's go. Let's go. We got another fish on the line. Hey, welcome to Stray Cast. Who's calling? Where are you calling from?
This is the famous Sean from North Texas. How are you guys?
Wow, Sean from North Texas. Here he is.
Famous.
Thanks for calling.
All right. So my question for you, your Lucky Craft Dial-On alumni, Buddy Talk, was throwing 20 pounds on his 1.5. What's your chosen line for your 1.5, and why do you think he was using such a big line?
I missed part of that. You asked me what size line I use, but you were comparing it to who? Are you comparing it to Takahiro? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, and the 20-pound sun line, Sean said.
Talk was all the way up at 20 pounds. I'm curious what your chosen line would be and why you think maybe he'd beefed up like that.
Talk is a straight meat and potatoes kind of guy. When it comes to cranking and flipping, I mean, that's what he does. He throws I'm surprised he was throwing a 1.5. For the longest time, he refused to use that small of a crankbait. At minimum, he would throw a 2.5. So
right, for
him to go down to a 1.5 was surprising to me. But heavy line, I have a feeling it was just based around the cover that he's around. He wanted heavy line. Now, for me, I throw 16 pound across the board for a 1.5. I use the same line that he does, Sunline. I use 16-pound Sniper Sunline. To me, that's a great all-around. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. It's kind of that happy medium for throwing that crankbait. So 1.5, I have in the past gone down to 14, but I don't like it. The problem with a crankbait like that is that you want it hitting the bottom. You want that thing bouncing off of cover. Well, here's the thing. When you have a 1.5 and your line is tied right here, and this thing is constantly hitting the bottom or constantly hitting objects and deflecting, your line for about 2 to 6 inches from the split ring is going to get frayed. So you bounce that thing off of rocks for about 2 casts. Your 16 pound before too long is really going to be about a 12 pound because it has so many nicks in it. So you really need a heavier line for throwing a bait. Now, too heavy of a line, I think, will hinder the action of the bait. It will also, it won't go as deep. Now, that could be a thing that Talk wanted too, is he did not want the bait to go as deep as it could. So you bump up the line size, and it shallows that bait up a little bit. So if you pulled out a 1.5 and put 10 pound on it, things are going to get down pretty deep. But I wouldn't recommend it. You're going to break them off. So.
Going to have some heartaches.
Yeah. 16 pound is my favorite line size. FC Sniper Sunline is the line that I use for that.
There it is. Awesome, famous Sean. You are famous. You know that, Sean. We love Sean. He's amazing. Hey, let's take some more. Let's take some more calls. Let's keep doing this. I love this. It makes my job real easy. Let's keep doing it. We got another fish on the line. Welcome to Stray Cast. Who's calling? Where are you calling from? Hello.
Yeah, this Randy.
What up, Randy?
From California.
Yeah.
Randy,
California.
Randy.
What's up, man?
What's up, Brent?
What's up? Oh, whereabouts, California?
What's what are the top 3 funniest anglers on the Elite Series?
I mean, Swindle is hilarious. He's really funny. The stuff he comes up with is beyond me. He is the most talented angler in the microphone. Honestly, I mean, the stuff he comes up with and says is beyond me. His sayings that he has, it's just, I don't know how he does it. It's hard for me to keep up with what he's saying, and I'm listening. I don't have to actually think about it and say it. I'm just trying to listen. I can't even keep up. So it's really funny. I'm going to go out on a limb here and bring up a guy's name. He's another Iowa guy along with me, Andy Montgomery.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of under the radar funny. He is. He's actually a pretty funny guy. So, he doesn't really come off that way when you see him on camera, but you get him off on the side and talk to him. He's pretty funny. So.
He shows it a little bit on MLF.
Yeah, he does. So, but yeah, man, you got to go with Swindle. I mean, he's just a crack up though. That guy's hilarious.
Nice. There it is. Good question. He's cracking up already. Randy, California. Love that answer. That's outstanding. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
I just want to give a shout out to Moss 141. He's the one who got me watching this. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we love Mario. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He doesn't even know that the snozberries taste like snozberries. That's the thing about Mario from California. And tell him I said that. Awesome. We got more calls. Let's keep going. Thanks, Randy, for calling. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Randy.
Are you cool with taking some more calls, Brent?
Yeah, for sure.
Man, this is an amazing opportunity for you to call in 520-214-2277. We have a fish on the line. Who's calling? Where are you calling from? Hello?
Matt from South Carolina.
Hey, what's up, bud?
How are you, man?
Hey, I was wondering, what was your rod of choice for a worm, like a shaky head or Texas rig?
Okay, for a shaky head, I throw that on a spinning rod. So I have a rod that I designed in the Tattoo Elite series that's a 7-foot medium action. And I throw all my shaky heads on spinning with braid to fluorocarbon. So for me, it'd be that medium action that I can cast with it. Usually, fine-tune casting, whether it's skipping around docks or casting into, if it's open water, you can cast it no problem, but it has a soft enough tip that you can cast around, target casting. But it has a lot of backbone for setting the hook. Now, for a Texas rig, for any kind of lighter stuff, for, actually almost for all applications with a Senko, I'm going to throw another rod that I designed. It's a multi-purpose rod. It's a 7.3 medium heavy bait caster. And again, it's in the Tattoo Elite series. We call it the multi-purpose rod. I designed that rod, everything about it, the length, the guides, the handle, everything to be a multi-purpose. I'm going to throw a lot of Texas rigs with it. I'm going to throw small jigs with it. I'm going to throw a spinner bait. I'm going to throw swim baits with it. I can throw top waters with it. I can throw a buzz bait with it. It's a multi-purpose rod. If I'm going to tie on a weightless Senko up to a 1/4 ounce Senko, it's all going to be with that rod, the 7.3 medium heavy. It's just that, mid range, and it's a very effective tool, and you can do a lot of things with it. So 7.3 medium heavy, Tattoo Elite series. Man, they got them everywhere. Tackle Warehouse. It's just a great all around rod. If you had one to pick, that's the one.
Boom.
All right, thank you.
There it is. Great question.
What about like for a frog and stuff?
For a frog, the neat thing about the series that we designed in Daiwa, this whole Tattoo Elite series, it's down to the pro staff. I have a handful of rods. Andy Montgomery has rods. Ishman Rowe has rods. Randy Howe. So look, I throw a frog a little bit. I'm not a specialist in it. But if I'm going to throw a frog, I'm going to throw the Ishman Rowe frog rod because Ish designed that rod. He knows how to throw a frog. That's his deal. So what I'm going to do is pick up what a guy specializes in something and use his rod because I want the best equipment to handle that. So I'm going to throw the Tattoo Elite Series frog rod. Now, if I'm going to go skip a jig around a dock, well, guess what? Andy Montgomery is the best in the world about skipping a jig under a dock. So what am I going to do? Throw an Andy Montgomery skipping rod. It's a 7-foot heavy action skipping rod. So, we have these rods that are designed for specific applications, and the best guys in the industry have designed these rods. Now this isn't something that Daiwa said, hey, this is a rod we're going to sell. We're going to put your name on it. What are we going to put on it? I mean, we went through multiple blanks with my rods, whether it was a cranking rod or a drop shot rod or the multi-purpose. I went through multiple blanks on every single rod and said, hey, this is the wrong blank. We need it softer. We need it stiffer. We need more guides, less guides. We need a longer handle, shoulder handle. We built everything to my specifications. Same thing with the skipping rod with Andy Montgomery and Ishman Rowe. Pick up what the specialists have designed, and that's kind of the whole process in coming up with the Elite series of rods, that Daiwa did. So I know exactly what rod to use for a specific application because I know the best guys out there have designed it.
It's sure a lot easier than it used to be, isn't it, to find the right rod?
Man, it is. And man, I went through that whole thing. I remember the first time I ever bought a flipping stick. I had no idea what I was doing. I went to a tackle store and a guy sold me a rod. Now, and actually getting into it more, it was funny because Daiwa had the Team Daiwa stuff years ago. That was when I first started to get into it.
Sure.
And they had the same thing. They had Team Daiwa. I mean, they had awesome guys on there. Cochran, Nixon.
Clun.
Bird.
Yellis. The Hibdens. I mean, there's some awesome anglers on there. And I mean, it was so cool for me to, those guys were on a pedestal. I mean, Team Daiwa was as good as it got.
Creme de la creme.
Oh, man, that was the deal. And for a guy like me who was getting into it and didn't know anything about it, if I wanted to pick up a flipping stick, I want someone to say, hey, pick up this flipping stick. It has someone's name on it. Here's my, I say hi to Lola. Oh,
well, hey.
My dog, sorry.
Hi, Lola. So,
it is nice now having these options out there that say, hey, if you want a frog rod, you're going to throw this rod. So, sorry.
Sure. I love it.
She's barking at something.
Responded to your call.
Come here. So,
come here, Lola.
She's a great Dane. She's slightly big.
Nice.
That's Lola's spirit animal.
Squirrels.
Squirrels. Oh yeah, she loves squirrels. Oh yeah, she loves squirrels. You know what she loves best is the doorbell. I mean, if you could have a doorbell sound on there right now, do it, and she will start barking. I promise you that.
Do we have that? There it is. Oh, Lola, you're a star. Oh, this is amazing. There it is right there. Let's take a couple more calls. Hey, thanks for calling in. That was a great question, man. Let's take a couple more calls here and we'll get back to it. We got a fish on the line. You are on with Brent Ehrler right now. Hello.
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 Hey, is Brett there?
Who is this?
Hello?
Who
Hi.
is this my
Hi,
mom?
so I have a question for Brett Ehrler.
Brent Ehrler. Yes.
Yes.
Is
So
it-
if you had to choose any swim bait, would you choose the original traditional swim bait, or would you use a glide bait for your preferred? Which one?
You know, to be honest with you, I have not had any success on the glide baits. I know there's, swim bait fishermen out there right now that are just cringing to hear me say that. I just haven't really had the opportunity to fish the glide baits at home in California. We stock trout out here. We catch big fish on big swim baits, and the glide bait has been such a phenomenon for a number of years now. I have not caught a single bass on a single glide bait. I have always caught them on standard swim baits. But keep in mind, I'm a tournament angler. I'll give you one quick example. I fished Clear Lake years ago for an FLW Open, and it was in the fall, and I was catching them on a 1.5. And I got into the area where I was catching them, and there were so many shad in there that I could not get my 1.5 back to the boat without snagging a
That's
big
crazy.
shad.
Wow.
And the fish wouldn't bite. I couldn't catch them. So I went to a swim bait, and I caught them really well. And I talked to a guy later in the day. It's actually Matt Newman. He's a big swim bait guy. I told him I caught him on a swim bait. And he goes, "Oh, man, which one, the HUD or what was it?" And I go, "No, on a Bass Tricks." And he goes, "It's not a swim bait." So that's me. I'm a tournament guy. I catch tournament fish. There's a lot of, swim bait guys out there that are catching those almost double digit to well in double digit fish. And they're doing it with these big, 10, 12, 13-inch swim baits. I haven't done that. Now, the glide bait is very effective, but I just have not caught them. So long story short, to answer your question, I would be a traditional swim bait guy. But again, it's tournament fishing.
There it is. Traditional swim bait. Hey, thanks. Great question, man.
Glide bait because it's got lots of hard, it's hard to turn it.
It's hard to burn it.
Thank you, everybody. Thank
Hey,
you. I love you, Brett. It's really good to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
That was awesome. Hey, let's take one more call. What do you say? One more for Brent Ehrler. We got a fish on the line. Welcome to Stray Cast. You're on with Brent Ehrler.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hey, so my question, I guess, is kind of in line a little bit with the previous caller there about the swim bait. And my question for you, Brent, is what advice would you have for fishing a small swim bait on a drop shot? And what is the heaviest you will fish a drop shot?
Okay, small drop shot or small swim bait on a drop shot. Now, the heaviest swim bait that you'd put on a drop shot, is that the question?
No. Would you some, you hear now kind of like a magnum drop shot. So like going up to 10, 12 pound line or something like that. Have you done anything like that? And then fishing like a small swim bait on a drop shot. Any advice for doing something like that?
Gotcha. Let's start off with the small swim bait on a drop shot. I have used that sometimes, a small little swim bait, whether it's a curl tail, like a small curl tail grub, or RoboWorm makes a curly tail robo. I've used that quite a bit on a drop shot. I've used very small Kitech swim baits before on a drop shot. I don't do it very often. I'm more of a thin Senko, straight worm, nothing, not with a curl tail on it. But I have caught them before. Again, small swim bait, small roboworm, curl tail roboworm works very well. Now, as far as a heavy drop shot or bulky up the line, I've caught a lot of fish, and mainly out west. I haven't done it back east as much, but I will go up to 16-pound Sunline Sniper and put it on a bait caster with, same roboworm or a thin Senko. Now they have that Pro Senko that's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit longer worm as well. It's about, I want to say it's almost 7 inches long. The Pro Senko, I think. Don't quote me on that. I do that a lot around grass, around reeds, tules, docks, and you pitch it just like you would a Texas rig and fish it shallow. The nice thing about it is that if you're fishing grass and there are pockets and openings in grass, one neat thing about that drop shot is that if you think about a Texas rig, when you throw a Texas rig into an opening in the grass and it falls in, your only action is you're trying to yo-yo that over. If the grass is matted at the surface and there's an opening, your line is over into that pocket. When you hop it, it's kind of bearing against the side of that laid over grass. When it's going this way,
right,
it's not as clean. So now, if the opening is the size of my laptop screen or the size of a table, it's a bigger opening, I can take that drop shot and I can throw it into the middle of that opening, leave the weight right where it's at, and jiggle that worm without ever pulling it to the edge of the grass or pulling it away. I can leave it right in the middle of that opening and have a lot of action. With a Texas rig, to impart any action on it, you have to move the bait, period, meaning that you have to move it toward you. If you want thing to have any action, it's coming towards you. With a drop shot, that weight can hit the bottom, and that worm can sit there and move the whole time without ever coming towards me when I'm, making the, imparting, putting action in that worm. So you can leave it in the strike zone for longer. If the fish are in the pockets, if they're spawning in those little circles and pockets in the grass, you can pitch that drop shot in there and just jiggle it the whole time and never pull it away from them. So I have used it a lot. 16-pound is the number that I've used. When you get up above that, you start showing a lot of line twist. Even with 16-pound, you will show line twist, but 20-pound, it's even worse. So
that was an outstanding question. In fact, I think that just turned into the Brent Ehrler tip of the week right there. Drop shotting in the grass. I love it.
The power shot.
Yeah.
That was great. That was great advice.
Yeah, man.
Perfect. Great question. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks for doing that, Brent. That's pretty cool.
No, of course.
Hey, that made a lot of people's day. I mean, I sincerely mean that. That's a big deal, man. But I have something special for you now. Okay? We have a very special guest tonight that's going to join the show right now with a major announcement regarding MLF. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to need you to close your eyes for a second so I can surprise you.
Okay.
Are you ready? Hello, Brent. This is Marty Stone. How are you today? Good to see you, Brent. It's good to see you. Hey, I'm pretty stoked that that now they let me wear cooler Wiley X sunglasses during my segments instead of the ones that they made me wear last year. That's pretty cool. Anyway, hey, could you hold on a minute, Brent? Hold on a second.
Sure.
Dang it, Byron! I said get me unsweetened tea. Sorry about that. I had to do that. Byron Velvick was needing some work, so he's doing a little work around the house for me. So I thought I'd get that going right there. But here's a big announcement that we got for you here today on the Stray Cast Show. We're privileged to be able to announce this. There's a new Major League Fishing rule that's called 3 rods on deck, 1 in hand. And it's going to be implemented, and implemented means put into play or started, is what implemented is. And this new rule will be implemented this year. And my question to you, Brent, is if you're able to only have 4 rods on the MLF event, what are those 4 rod and reels going to be? I know it's a big deal, but what are you going to have?
All right, I'm gonna have my multi-purpose rod. It's a 7.3 medium heavy action rod. That I'm gonna use a Tatula SV reel, and I will probably put 16-pound sunline on that. I can do a lot of things with that.
That's one.
That's one. Okay. I'm gonna have a 7.3 Andy Montgomery, 7-foot Andy Montgomery skipping rod because it's a heavy action rod.
Andy Montgomery skips.
He does skip. Now that I can use any heavier actions with it, meaning that I can have something for a heavier bait, a jig, and not just a Texas rig. That I would put 20-pound on. Now the third one will be my 7.4 glass rod. So I can throw a crankbait on it. I can throw a chatterbait on it, so I can cover water with it. I can throw a spinnerbait on that. 20-pound FC Sniper Sunline. And then the last rod would be my 7-foot medium action drop shot rod. Now that drop shot is not just a specific drop shot rod. It actually is a multi-purpose. I do everything with that. Wacky rig, shaky head, drop shot, NACO rig, swim bait, little small swim baits, everything. I mean, that's done. Literally, that's all I need right there, and I can get pretty much anything done in any situation. And if they do that rule, I'm done. I got it.
Hey, cool. Hey, Marty Stone, thanks for calling in with that. We appreciate it. No problem, Pat. Glad to be on the show. Brent, we're going to be implementing those rules on the next MLF Derby. Thanks, Brent. I'll see you at the next event. That's pretty cool that Marty Stone called in. It's pretty outstanding. Unbelievable. Only on a Bass Fishing Talk Show do you get that right there.
That's true.
You know what else you get on a Bass Fishing Talk Show? This Bass Fishing Talk Show that you don't get anywhere else, Brent Ehrler?
What's that?
Game shows. Game shows.
Okay.
Are you ready to play some game shows?
I'm ready.
We are going to play a game called What's on Your Mind.
Okay.
Okay. And I am going to give you a phrase or a statement, and you need to tell us the first thing that pops into Brent Ehrler's mind. Let's play What's on Your Mind? I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Today, Bassmaster Elite Series and MLF Fishing Pro Brent Ehrler joins us today in the Stray Cast Studios. Brent, the first phrase to you is fishing with dynamite. Fishing with dynamite.
Way more effective than fishing with a rod and reel right now.
Way more effective than fishing with a rod and reel. We're going to give that one to him. There it is right there. Snoochie Boochie. The word is Snoochie Boochie.
How about when someone sneaks into one of your best spots and gets in front of you? They do like a little snoochie boochie to get in there.
The old Snoochie Boochie. Yeah. Speaking the language.
Very good.
Aurora Brownback. Aurora Brownback.
Aurora Brown Black. One of the best Lucky Craft colors you can throw in the state of Florida.
Ooh, giving it up. My producer's mad at me. That's his favorite color. He didn't want me to say that. He didn't want me to say that. The Night Train. The Night Train, Brent Ehrler, the Night Train.
Oh, boy, the Night Train. That was a liquor that we drank a long time ago. And I don't know if it was a wine or if it was a malt liquor, but it was a berry flavor or something. Night Train. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's Champipple. That's the that's the juice of the juice. That's the juice of the stars, and it's also a Guns N' Roses song. That's where it came from. Loaded like a freight train, flying like an aeroplane. One more time tonight. That's the Night Train, right there. Motor boating son of a bitch.
Oh man. Any bass fisherman?
Any bass fisherman? Is she still in the house? There we go, right there. The this kind of goes along with what you said before. Find your own spot. Okay, give me game show music. I need inspiration.
Oh man.
Yes. Thank you. Find your own spot.
I wish that more guys would do that.
There it is.
Nice.
Right there. Here's a big one right now.
That's number one answer.
The Ides of March. The Ides of March are upon us.
The Ides of March.
Yes.
All I can think about with March is the Bassmaster Classic right now. So
that is
Lake
right.
Hartwell, here we go.
An amazing answer. And here's what the deal is. The Ides of March was a warning given to Julius Caesar to beware that he gave to the warriors out there that he was coming for them. Beware of the Ides of March. Beware of Brent Ehrler this March.
Those are great answers.
This March.
I like it.
Yes.
Excellent answers.
There it is. There's that C word. Love it, Brent. Love it. The C word. Not Cornelius, but confidence.
Confidence, okay.
That's the C word right there. Dude, we thank you so much for hanging out with us here tonight, man. I mean, really, we had an outstanding time with you, as usual.
Thank you, man. I love being on the show, and I can't wait to be back on. Seriously, it's always a fun time, and next time maybe I can get more people to call in or get Lola to join us or something.
Yeah, I mean, we could get more people to call in. Or let's
tied.
just stay on all night. What the heck? Get Lola, get the kid, get the wife, get them all in here. Let's have a good time. Let's bake some cookies, watch some movies, have a good old sleepover.
I like it.
I'm your spirit animal for the night.
There you go.
There it is. Now, anything you want to say to your fans or your sponsors before we get out of here, Brent?
Man, I appreciate you having me on, and everyone out there, fans, appreciate everything you guys do, and sponsors, I appreciate everything they do. Man, I mean, from Lucky Craft, literally would not be here without them. So they've done so much for me, along with Ranger Boats and Mercury Marine, and of course GoPro, who's still around, and love to see them. The cameras are amazing. We finally get to capture everything that we do out there, and are now able to share it with social media. It's such a big deal. So just so happy to be there, happy to be out there, happy to have my sponsors, and can't wait to get out there and catch some more 200. And how many? What's the cost per bass now?
$222.68.
I want a whole bunch of 222s.
If you win that Bassmaster Classic, that's going to up it a bit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That will up your per pound.
That's outstanding. Thanks so much once again, man. Best of luck to you, and we'll see you. We're going to be out there at the Classic, so we'll run into you out there, man.
Awesome. Come find me. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Absolutely. That is Brent
Thanks.
Ehrler. You are the true definition of a professional bass fisherman, and I mean that 100%. Thank you so much. There it is right there. Another episode of Stray Cats Outdoor Cartoon Television. But wait, there's more. There is more. We have the big winner of the Win the Shane Bates A-Rigs prize. And absolutely, I say this wholeheartedly, that they are the best A-Rigs available on the planet, and they really are.
They're awesome.
That's not a sales line. See for yourself. If you don't believe us, they are all handmade and hand-assembled A-Rigs. This is not mass-produced crap. It is the real deal at shanesbaits.com. That's Shane LaHue and Troy LaHue, Padre and son. Shane fishes the FLW Tour. Everybody knows Shane. And Troy, he's the mastermind of the baits there. And we got a winner. I think. Do we have a winner?
Yeah, we're good. We got one.
We got one. Okay. So. Whoa, my gosh!
Yep.
You killed. Lola killed the squirrel.
We got.
There it is. Do you want Marty Stone to say it?
We got. Oh, it's a Wisconsin stud, Alan Newman.
Oh,
Alan Newman. Yeah.
What's up,
Newman? You're the winner of the big giveaway from Shane's Baits here on Stray Cats. Alan Newman, bark like a dog, because you won the deal.
You feel me?
Here from Shane's Baits. What you need to do, Al Newman. Isn't Al Newman like the year of the cat? No, that's Al Stewart.
Yeah.
And the year of the cat.
It's not Al Green.
Tommy Sanders saying that.
Is this Al Green?
No, this is bass porno.
Oh,
that's what this is.
BP.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's what's going on there. Hey, but here's the deal. Alan Newman. Cat Stevens? Who won?
Al Newman.
Al Newman.
Yep. Yeah.
You need to message the Stray Cats Facebook page, private message. Give us your deets. And Shane's Baits is going to send you out $50 worth of A-rigs. And when you start wrecking them on those baits, we need to know about it. I mean,
This is kind of scary. That dude is going to catch big brown ones on it.
He's probably going to kick
Send
your
us
ass.
pictures.
This is a bad move.
It's probably going to happen.
That's your arch nemesis.
No.
Yeah, Alan Newman. You told me before the show.
Not officially
You were like, I hope Alan Newman doesn't win these A-rigs. And then here, lo and behold, Alan Newman. Wait, is this thing fixed? We're going to get in trouble from the non-existent FCC that's watching this show. That's crazy. Hey, another amazing episode. We have a great time doing this. And without you viewing out there, this great time would not be had. It would be not for naught, if whatever that means.
Sure.
But we seriously appreciate all the viewers, everybody listening. And remember that this show will be available for download on iTunes. Where is Larry? Where's Big Larry?
He's late.
We lost Big Larry.
He's not going to get his payday.
He loves payday bars. But anyway, this show should be available in the morning on the iTunes. Also, don't forget to follow our Instagram page. Follow us on Facebook, of course, if you are not already.
YouTube.
Also, our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. There's a big YouTube channel contest coming up that I can't even talk about it. But if I were you, I would go over there and subscribe to it now. I would get things going and get things rolling because you're not going to believe the prize we got for that. And also, again, the iTunes. Subscribe. Leave a review. Leave us a review. We even love hate reviews.
Bad.
Yeah, we love hate reviews. Just remember that. We love them. We thrive on that. So whatever you want to leave.
Facial hair topics.
Yes, anything
head hair
you
topics.
got. Another amazing show. Thank you again to all the sponsors, especially our new sponsors on this show, JB Fish Sauce, Amphibia Eye Gear. Stoked about that one. And special thanks again to shanesbaits.com. Check them out. Hey, we'll catch you next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. right here, StrayCast.net and the StrayCast Facebook page. We bid you peace. Loaded like a freight train, flying like an aeroplane, spinning like a space plane one more time tonight. Look out!